just get the elephant in the room tackled first. This game is a discount Mario Kart Double Dash. Having the characters race in pairs while having them use weapons and even special ones while racing in pairs is a further reflection of this. It's almost as if Sierra Entertainment told Radical Entertainment to say, "Yo, people, shut the f*** up. We can have our guys race in pairs too. Plus, Nintendo's a bunch of p***s and we're their better." And that's coming from someone who actually enjoys this game. Reading. 25 seconds of logos. Just the kind of humor this game needed. Intro video that starts out promisingly with engine revving undone by sudden presence of Crash Bandicoot. I see Crash went to the Prometheus school of running away from things. Wait, you say he has nowhere else to go here? Well, sure, he's barricaded by a fence, so he only has one direction to run in, and it's probably necessary to reach a certain area, but that gets undone by the fact that he can jump over the fence, and that there is no such thing as fall damage in this game, so I'm gonna play Buzzkill here. You know, like that's a surprise for anyone who watches anything related to CinemaSins. Apparently there's no such thing as a replay mechanic in this game, so instead Radical had to use stock footage from their test drives. You know, I do like the idea of having an explosive finish to a game's intro, but this is a racing game, right? Maybe it's just me, but wouldn't the final clip of the intro be where the main character crosses the finish line before anyone else? It would be a high note.
Top of the morning and the cock-a-doodle-doo sports fans.
Did the people who work on this game also end up being bandits from Pandora in the Borderlands games? All people here really like puns for some reason.
Chick Gizzard Lips here.
No one, not even a chicken, will want to have a name like Chick Gizzard Lips at any point in their life. The parent would be so cruel.
Von Clutch, the deranged genius cyborg.
Can someone even be considered deranged and a genius at the same time?
Indeed, the park's tracks have wreaked terror on its participants.
Wait, how quickly did this guy change hats? He doesn't have a bag or anything to swap them in, so what the hell?
Too gruesome for this reporter to describe over the air.
If that's the case, then how has it even remained in operation? If you think about how often real theme parks get closed down for any deaths or injuries, this is a shocker to me.
I ain't got a problem with it. Man, you ever put a big ham in a wood chipper? I know I have.
I'll admit, this is some pretty hilarious out of left field humor, and I hate to sound like an asshole here, but who would even set up an image for this guy to talk about it on air? Furthermore, they still keep their jobs after this? Man, I'm an asshole. Geez, I could almost make a bonus round of all the times this guy switches hats between clips. Much like a highway in the Fast and Furious movie, highways are totally abandoned for this little lane-wandering car chase to happen. Bad guy aim. I guess I would be okay with the fact that engine is missing because he isn't sitting still, but I would still think that a ray gun developed by a mad scientist like Neo Cortex would have some technology that would make the rounds zero in on a target.
It's only a matter of time.
Meanwhile, Engine is piecing out, not reloading and firing for Cortex to have his little monologue. Also, bad guy's premature evil laugh interrupted by a random object cliche. Holy shit, that's yet another time this guy has switched hats. The Team Fortress 2 hat junkies are gonna be pissed, and we don't want it to get to that point. Believe me, I have the scars, and they cut deep. We don't want it to get to that point. Wait, we just heard at least 3 crashes and a couple screams to suggest that these guys ran into a wall or something. The next shot tells us that all that happened was that they crashed into each other.
What is the meaning of this? Have you any idea with whom you are dealing?
Yo, Cortex telling Von Clutch the danger of letting a deed into his park in the hands of some evildoers? Man, Cortex would be great at CinemaSins. Oh, wait.
For a moment there, I think all is lost for Von Clutch, but when I see my favorite video heroes, my innards tingle with joy.
Phew, thank God he suddenly broke the 4th wall there.
Well, tingle all you want. I have an appointment with world domination.
Bad guy has no other ambition except for conquering the world cliche.
It's fertile ground for us to plant a new seed of evil.
Look, I'm no bad guy, but I wouldn't proudly shout out about spreading evil anywhere.
Yes! A new sinister base, all the churros we can eat, and rid ourselves of the bandicoots all at the same time!
He just said that in front of the bandicoots. Use some subtlety for crying out loud.
Not so fast. I'm Pasadena Opossum. I'm racing for old Von Clutch, and I'm gonna whoop you, that's for sure.
Man, it's as if a feral opossum, Applejack, and Melissa Miller all had a spontaneous threesome and conceived this character. I just want to see a sex tape. This scene does not contain that sex tape.
So, if I win, you'll hand over the deed to this amusement enterprise? No questions asked?
What could go wrong from here?
Perhaps a riddle or two!
Holy cannoli! What is that thing?
You know, if I saw this thing, mascot or otherwise, come out of nowhere and acted like this, I'd be freaked out too. I'm knocking off a sin for Neo Cortex having the right idea. Just what the hell kind of mascot is this? If this is a racing theme park, wouldn't you want to have a guy in a racing suit be your mascot instead of this Fruit of the Loom abomination? Who'd even hire or conjure up such an idea?
The deranged genius cyborg.
Oh.
Heedly-hidely-ho! To the statue you must go! This way or that, fall down, you go splat! And everyone thinks you're a schmo.
Nice limerick, but the only schmo I see is Willy Wumpa Cheeks. Okay, Von Clutch made a big deal about his missing power gems. I get that. But why is he panicking about this one when it wasn't even hidden in the slightest? We interrupt this racing game to bring you an Indiana Jones movie. Yeah, that's a broken neck right there. Where the hell did this cow come from? It looked as if it was hurled from something big off screen. I guess what I'm trying to say is, random cow ex machina. Also, why does Crash Bandicoot need this cow to be a bridge? He can double jump. Also, Crash is addicted to cows. Crash presses the button and causes property damage on a park that he has no ownership of. Also, why would a button even be conspicuously placed here for any random asshole to press, only to find out that it damages this sphinx? I bet a good lawyer could argue entrapment.
Curses! Some sinister force is upstaging my evil plan! Curses! Curses! Curses!
Why is Neo Cortex so upset by this? This is practically a regular occurrence for any returning video game villain. Coco takes in a microphone from some chicken sports commentators and gets no repercussions for it.
Hey, I think I'm beginning to deduce.
Also, discount Sherlock Holmes.
Well, the pattern I've concluded from deductive reasoning is that whoever stole the power gems has some connection to Wumpa Whip!
Okay, but the keyword here is stolen. Sure, Crash is drinking some Wumpa Whip right now, but he was nowhere near the park where the power gems were stolen.
I mean, who drinks Wumpa Whip anyway?
Apparently, Crash does.
Oh, Crash! How could you?
You know, I'm all for justice, but this seems especially harsh. Since all the Bandicoots are siblings, Coco should know about Crash's endeavors to recover the power gems versus stealing them. Also, did I mention that Coco is a discount Sherlock Holmes? Because I take that back. She's not a good enough detective to even be called that.
I have had it! You people are dumber than a sack of hammers!
That's correct.
It's me! Me! I tell you!
Why is this asshole admitting this now? Why is he even admitting it at all? Legitimately surprised that even after all the talk about Coco's claim about the Wumpa Bit traces, that no one believed that Willy Wumpa Cheeks, the freaky-ass fruit, was a possible suspect throughout this whole game. Also, just what was this guy's motive? He just steals some gems and that's virtually it. It's almost as if this game didn't even give him any reason to be an antagonist.
And I would have succeeded too if it wasn't for you meddling bandicoots!
Game thinks that by imitating an overused Scooby-Doo reference will get off the hook for all the other pop culture references it made so far, but there are so many that it's really not a possibility.
A trick!
Really, Von Clutch? Did you not only realize that Willy Wumpa Cheeks was the main bad guy the whole time? This sin is for your blatant oversight.
With only a short time left.
That clock needs to be fixed. Also, hat change, and all that implies.
Is it too late to retrieve the Black Power Gem and save the weekend, Ebenezer Von Clutch?
Apparently so, but here we see Von Clutch shutting down, suggesting that they ran out of time. But later we find out this is a fake out, so... Anyways, misleading dialogue is misleading. You know, I know that any bad guy would have their evil laugh before they make any of their plans come to fruition, but I don't really know any antagonist that would take the time to twirl around before making a getaway. But that's just me. Oh, give me a break. This lever is what causes the rocket to shut down? Sure, they're not in an NASA-esque area, but wouldn't something like this be restricted for use by employees? No wonder this place is a giant death trap, because any random asshole could just tinker with some random buttons or switches and such and cause anything to fall apart. I have a feeling that Professor E. Gadd designed this interior of the cockpit. Flimsy bellow stand, random buttons with no text to explain what each one does, green lighting. Does this way any way or another that both Luigi's Mansion and Mario Kart Double Dash came out in 2001 and 2003 respectively, while this game was released in 2005? Was Sierra Entertainment hoping to ride on Nintendo's coattails or something? I might just be overthinking it, but still, makes you wonder, right? I mean, right?
Hey! Who you call it sour?
Dude, you were sour to begin with. Also, I'm wondering, where did you plan on going if your launch didn't get aborted, and why? What was the whole motive behind your actions? I'm still scratching my head about that. Neo Cortex must have been playing peekaboo with a protagonist because this shot tells me that they had to be in their sights to fire that shot, or the beam came from underneath the platform, which is just sinful.
That wretched bandicoot foiled my plan for this amusement enterprise as the ideal strategic cover!
And? Shouldn't you expect that to happen?
Stop having fun!
Neo Cortex is addicted to engine.
Obliterate them!
Dude, who are you giving this order to? You're the one flying this aircraft, and you have control over the plane's weapon too. Also, he sure is taking his sweet-ass time to obliterate the bandicoots, but just do it already! And holy shit, the bandicoots are taking their sweet-ass time defending themselves too. Also, the firing only happens when it triggers hell for a moment, instead of immediately. This wouldn't be a sin if this weapon was an actual minigun.
I hate chicken.
Come on, 7 things wrong with this scenario. First, bad guy is foiled by a thing, and bad guy responds with an I hate said thing cliche. Second of all, that's racist. Third, animal abuse. Fourth, Crash never had a chicken to begin with, nor did he have a place to hide it until this very moment. Fifth, neocortex is undone by a chicken. Sixth, neocortex doesn't provide any resistance when the metal was put back down to prevent his plans from being foiled, so what the f was all that? Seventh, I see that neocortex went to the Little Mac School of Aerial Combat.
Thank you, Mr. Chicken Man.
God damn it, Coco, with a name like Chick Gizzard Lips, how can you forget that name?
This is really cool and stuff, but we'd like to return the park ownership where it belongs.
After earning the ownership of the park, Coco decides to just hand it back to Von Clutch. Though I really can't blame her. If my park looked like it was designed by a drunk handsome Jack, I would get rid of it too. That switch is so stupid and repetitive, I don't even want to bother with any of the discrepancies. Game expects me to feel bad about Von Clutch never being active again. Game is wrong because he put himself in this position. Does Crash just have such an addiction to Wumpa Whip that he just has to suck every last drop out of her nose? That's pretty gross, but he ends up finding the missing black power gem from it, reviving Von Clutch. So, nose-picking resurrection ex machina, Crash is addicted to Von Clutch. Also, I'm not sure if he was just annoyed by being spat on, or the offensively stereotypical German accent, or for some other reason. I don't know, it just seems like an additional that's racist sin to me. So, Crash just got into the only car left and drove off, leaving everyone else to just travel by foot. So that means that Crash is addicted to everyone else on his side. This makes me believe that he might just be the true antagonist to this game. So they have a sign here that tells you not to press the big red button. If you act against those instructions, a fat guy will fall from the sky and land on you, crushing the individual who presses the button. I'm wondering how they even set this up. Some guy is flattened by the fat dude, a worker comes along and says, "Well, that's a bummer. Time to get back to the sky again for the next poor sap." And how they even keep the fat guy in the sky anyways? Getting stuck in the air? I'm guessing stuck in the air. It's almost as if this park is rigged with buttons that have things fall from the sky to crush patrons with their butts. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? There was obviously a cannonball that was in front of the chicken, but now the chicken can escape from the opposite end of the cannon with ease, and very quickly I might add. Also, this chicken is addicted to Crash. Crash has clearly been reduced to a skeleton, but can still move without muscles. Yeah, you mug that camera, Crash. I'm starting to think that the dioramas were made by first graders. Crash holds onto a monkey with a lit stick of dynamite and doesn't throw it. Crash is a slow learner. How has this place not killed any other park customer yet? Also, we see that the cannons are fired in quick succession, but there are delays on when they get fired in the following shot. First, Crash decides to follow the rules for once. But then, he decides to kick the sign away thinking, what's the worst that could happen? The sin is on him. Another warning sign ignored as if it was nothing. Furthermore, who in the ever-loving had the place set up where sharks were in open water with no barriers to keep patrons from falling in? Jurassic Park. This is the only diorama that I see that doesn't involve Crash actually dying. Am I watching the right set of clips here? Yeah, he died again. What the f***? I know that Crash is stupid and immature, but why would he think that this is a good idea? This stupidity is excessive even to Crash's standards. Crash is addicted to chickens. Karma. Hey, you saved me from falling off the cliff. Hope you can fly. Animal Crossing. Okay, goddammit, how many of these dioramas involve Crash Bandicoot getting eaten? Out of all the dioramas, I counted 7 where he gets devoured. Is this supposed to be some sort of fetish? Maybe it's already been made into a kinky underground fetish and I'm okay with that, and I'm not okay with that. How dare you hit me with your spin attack while I don't have a different hat on? Gentlemen, it's been a privilege dying with you. Crash tosses in a coin without pressing a button on a vending machine and expects a drink to come out. I see Michael Bay got his hands on this somehow. Who in their right mind would be in the cannon as they're cleaning it? This guy might just be stupider than Crash is. There is no such thing as safety switches in this park. You know what? Crash is addicted to everyone. Any random passerby could just pull a switch to it. The director said, let's mix it up this time and have Crash Bandicoot offer this guy a poisoned apple instead of eating it himself. Sure, the employee ends up eating it, but in the grand scheme of things, it'll make Crash look like even more of an asshole.
Bonus!